Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving headfirst into the pretty intriguing world of self-directed learning. You know, what the experts are calling heutagogy, and how these powerful tools, large language models, LLMs, are sort of shaking things up. Our mission, really, drawing from our source, heutagogy and self-learning with LLMs, a complete guide, is to equip you with the knowledge, not just to navigate this new learning frontier, but to really harness its potential while, sidestepping some common pitfalls. Okay, let's really unpack this then. How do we truly become masters of our own learning journey when AI is, well, right there?
Yeah, that's a great question to kick us off because heutagogy, it isn't just a fancy term. It's a real shift. It goes beyond traditional teaching, pedagogy, and even adult learning, andragogy. Heutagogy really positions you, the learner, as the main agent. You decide what you learn, how you learn it, and maybe most importantly, why it matters to you.
Hmm. And what I found really interesting in the source was how it flags these two critical foundations for this kind of learning. First, there's sharp metacognitive awareness. It's basically your ability to assess your own knowledge, see where the gaps are, think about your thinking. And second, capability development, which means going beyond just knowing how to do something and really understanding when and why you'd apply that knowledge, maybe in totally new situations you hadn't planned for.
Exactly. You're not just following a set path. You're actively shaping your learning journey, the path, the pace, even how you assess yourself. And what's fascinating and maybe a bit daunting is that the source is very direct about this. It says, heutagogy requires already developed metacognitive skills and strong self-regulation. It's genuinely not for everyone just starting out or looking for a quick fix. It needs a certain maturity as a learner.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. It's less about learning a specific thing and more about cultivating a whole way of learning. So given that it demands so much self-awareness, self-direction,
Yeah.
where do LLMs fit? Can they help? Or are they just, noise? Our source actually points out several ways they can support us. Things like dynamic scaffolding that unwebs as you go, metacognitive support, helping you reflect on your learning process, conversational learning like Socratic dialogues, and personalized learning pathways.
And these are incredible tools, definitely. I mean, imagine an LLM not just spitting out facts, but asking questions that make you think deeper, or adjusting the next step based on how you tackled the last one. That's powerful stuff. But connecting this to the bigger picture, it's clear LLMs can't replace everything. They can't replace deep human expertise or that vital social learning you get from collaborating with others or structured guidance from a person. They lack, deep context, nuanced source evaluation telling good info from bad, and frankly, the emotional support of a learning community.
That's a really key distinction.
Right.
So, okay,
Yeah.
what does this mean for you listening, maybe using LLMs for your own learning? The biggest risk, the source highlights, is overconfidence. It calls it the Dunning-Kruger danger. This is where, easy access to information creates this illusion of understanding, this feeling of mastery without the deep learning actually happening.
Right. You feel like you know it because the LLM explained it, but have you really wrestled with it? And that raises the crucial question. How do we manage this risk? How do we avoid fooling ourselves? The source stresses constantly seeking validation. Talk to human experts, talk to peers, use structured self-assessment, and really emphasize applying the knowledge. Transfer it to new situations. Don't just explain it back. That's the real test.
Yeah, application is key. So practically speaking, how do you even start with this self-directed approach using LLMs without getting overwhelmed or falling into that trap? Our guide offers some practical first steps. It says basically start simple. It suggests this three-question launch. First, what do I want to do with this knowledge? Practical application from the start. Second, what do I already know? Be honest. And third, how much time do I realistically have?
Good starting point. And after that launch, follow a basic learning cycle. Get a general overview, then try something practical with it. You'll probably get stuck. That's normal. Then ask for help from people, or maybe carefully from an LLM. Then repeat the cycle. Iterate. An assessment, like you said, is woven through this. Regular testing, but through application and transfer. That's how you know it's sinking in beyond just surface stuff.
Exactly. And it boils down to that golden rule from
Yeah.
the source, which I think is great. If you can't explain it simply or use it practically, you don't really know it yet. A simple, powerful check. So we've done a deep dive today into how self-directed learning, or heutagogy, especially when boosted by LLMs, offers huge potential, but also comes with real responsibilities. True learning, the kind that sticks, needs that active metacognition, that humility to check in with humans, and constant real-world testing. So as you go about your own learning, maybe think about this. How much of what you feel you understand is genuine capability you can use and explain easily, versus how much is just, well, quick access to information? And how often do you really put that understanding to the test in the real world, something to chew on?